Today's lesson, we're talking about learning target 2, where we can say that I can factor a quadratic expression. So a quadratic expression is an algebraic expression of a given form, which will be ax squared plus bx plus c. So notice that it has 3 terms. This is also called a trinomial. And so when we factor these, this will look a little different than our greatest common factor stuff. So we'll create 2 different parentheses, where the first term of each parenthesis will be x, and then it'll either be a number multiplied by x plus or minus another number, and then the same format for the other one. Okay, so the steps that we use to kind of factor this is using a area or a box method. So we take the a and the c values and multiply them, then find 2 numbers that multiply and add up to that b value. And so then once we have those 2 numbers, we kind of fill in our boxes where the ax squared and the c are in diagonal format, and then the values that we found will be attached to a variable of x in the other 2 boxes. It doesn't matter which boxes they're put in. And so by creating a 2x2 grid, we place our terms in those correct boxes. Then we use our greatest common factor that we've already learned, and we place these outside of the box, so like on the top and then on the left. Okay, so when we want to rewrite them and put them in the parentheses that we were talking about. Okay, so number 1, kind of just want to identify the a, b, and c. So a is 2, b is 17, c is 21. Okay, so a times c is 42, so that's how I get that top number in the diamond. And then the 17 is the b value that we've already stated. So now looking at factors of 42, it looks like 3 and 14 add up to be 17. Okay, so those will be my 2 numbers that I'll use, because they both multiply to get 42 but add to get 17. So write those in those diamond. And then I make my area model. So in the top left, I'll write 2x squared. The bottom right, I'll write 21. And then the other ones, I'll put a 14x in the bottom left. And then, sorry, it doesn't really matter. So 3x in the bottom left, 14x in the bottom right. I'm just following my arrows. It looks like I went backwards there. So now I want to find the greatest common factor. So between 2x squared and 3x, there is a 1 and an x. So I pull those out. Between 14x and 21, there's a 7, because they're both multiplied by 7. Now looking like horizontally, it looks like they have a 2 and an x in common for that first column, and then, or for first row, and then the next row, 3 is in common between 3x and 21. So then I get my factors of 2x plus 3 times x plus 7. Okay. Number 2, my a value is 1, b value is -5, c value is -14. So multiplying 1 times -14 gets me -14. My b value is -5. So now I need to find factors of -14 that add up to get me -5. Now there's only 2 sets of factors. Now with the negative value, I can kind of switch where the negative goes. So I can actually write it as 2 and -7. So they add up to get me -5. So those will be the values I use. Okay. So then here I write 1x squared in the top left, -14 on the bottom right, then 2x and -7 in the other ones. Okay. On the top one, x squared and 2x have a 1x in common. -7x and -14 have a -7 in common. 1x squared and -7x have a 1x in common, and 2x and -14 have a 2 in common. So then that would be the factor. So then for our final answer, we would have 1x plus 2 times 1x minus 7, and that would be our answer.